ធំដោយ
Menu Live ក្រុមហ៊ុនធានារ៉ាប់រងអាយុជីវិតដែលលោកអ្នកជឿទុកចិត្ត
Good evening, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Cambodia Global Dialogue. Well, tonight a little bit sad, but you know, as always, friendship. You know, when you are working with the diplomatic corps, you know that you're gonna make friends, but you know that 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years at most, your friend will go to another place. And tonight, I just have the great pleasure to have, you know, one last official dialogue with my good friend, the UK ambassador. Well, hopefully he will come and visit again in Cambodia, and I will invite him back. But tonight, I want to hear his perspective a bit of his time in Cambodia, and he's going to be going to China, so for a bigger country. But I hope that the little Cambodia has brought some dimension in his life and everything. So, my good friend, welcome.
Thank you very much, Stefano.
Yes. Well, I sure hate to see you leaving, but you know, career, we have to move on. So, I give you 1 minute to give a bit of background, just because this is our second show, but you never know, some people may miss our first show.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been incredibly busy, and I've been incredibly lucky to be in Cambodia for the last 2.5 years. I have to say, my first impression in Cambodia is just how quickly the country is changing, how it's developing, and how quickly the relationship between the UK and Cambodia is developing. So this year is the 60th anniversary of the UK embassy, 60 of our embassy. So we've had all sorts of events this year to celebrate that. And we've been doing a lot of work on trade.
I see.
This year, for the first time, trade between the two countries is going to reach $1 billion. We've been doing work on education. We've had a strengthening political dialogue between our two governments. We still are a major development partner of Cambodia. So in all of these areas, we've been very active. So since we last spoke, I've been pretty busy.
Yes. You've been here how many years now?
It's 2.5 years now.
2.5 years, but you're leaving early, right?
Yes, I'm going to a new job in Beijing. So I'm excited to be moving, but sad to be leaving.
All right. Well, 2.5 years, you know, it's a bit short, but it's sort of give you a good glimpse. But let's start with something more fun. Tell me what you've been doing for the 6 years celebration. I heard you mentioned some promotion of it.
We've done a lot of events. We had a big official celebration in June. We've had a number of education events. Our trade minister came to visit. Lord Green came to visit. It's the first ever visit by a minister of trade from the UK to Cambodia.
Yes.
But then last week we did something a bit different. We launched 300 great British tuk-tuks. And on the back of each of these tuk-tuks is an image of the UK. And it's designed to show the diversity of the UK, both in terms, people think of the UK sometimes and think of history and tradition, which is right, of course.
They always think of Oxford.
But also we have a lot of creativity and innovation. So some of the top scientists of the world come from the UK. We have some of the best British universities in the world. So the different images on the back of all of the tuk-tuks are really designed to raise awareness among Cambodian people of the UK. And look for opportunities to build ties and cooperation between the two countries. So I launched them last week, and if you're driving around Phnom Penh now, sitting in the traffic...
So they are around, they're still around?
They're around. I saw some just on the way here.
All right. No, it's great. I can't believe it's been 60 years that this relation there. But I would say the intensity of the cooperation has been very much the last several years. Since you came here, there's been a lot of action there.
That's right. We've really tried to strengthen the political dialogue with not just Cambodia, but with the region. This is a very important region. Last year, of course, Cambodia was chair of ASEAN, so we worked closely at that point. But we've had, in the last 18 months alone, we've had 3 visits to Cambodia by UK ministers.
Very high.
So that high-level dialogue is very important, and beneath that we've got ties in a number of different areas. So this is a very conscious decision by the UK to strengthen our ties with countries in this region, including Cambodia, and look for new opportunities to work together.
Education, of course, you know, I still believe that the strength of any country relation is through a long term, but it starts with planting the seed in educating a young Cambodian or a young, you know, British person to know about the country and vice versa, right? I can see that more and more now there are more Cambodians who choose to go to study in UK. Even my daughter, who's just turned 18, you know, she applied to UK also. You know, she applied to different country, US, you know, Canada, but she said, Dad, I also applied to UK. But you see, like a few years ago, it would never come to our mind, right? But what have you done in the area of strengthening this such an important element of the future education?
Well, it's a really important area of our work, of course. I think the first thing we've done is try to raise awareness of the UK as an educational opportunity.
Yes.
So we have, for instance, 4 of the top 10 universities in the world in the UK. Our universities have produced 77 different Nobel Prize winners.
77 Nobel Prize?
Yeah, so we have some of the greatest universities and colleges, and that's the reason. Did you know that 10% of all international students in the world who study overseas are studying in the UK?
10%?
So 10% of all international students. So in the UK we have over 400,000 overseas students studying at our universities. And on top of that we have 700,000 studying language courses because of course UK is home of the English language. So there's very high demand in many countries, including Cambodia, for the best English language education, and that's what we can offer. So we need to make people aware of that. But the second thing we need to do, of course, is to make it accessible for people, because a few people are lucky they can get scholarships, and the embassy has just increased our scholarships from 1 to 4 for Cambodian students, and other universities offer different types of grant and package. But we're also trying to deliver some UK qualifications here in Cambodia. So we're trying to support partnerships between UK colleges and Cambodian colleges.
Is that like something like the accounting for the ACCA, right?
That's, well, like ACCA is one example of a vocational qualification, which is obviously the UK is a global centre for financial services and standards, so accounting is a very promising area, and if you want an internationally recognised qualification, then ACCA is a great one that is available here. So that's one example. Another thing we're looking at is trying to encourage universities to work together, so a student can do some of their study here in Cambodia and then go to the UK for a semester, for example, or 2 semesters.
Are you successful already to support
there are talks underway, and 1 or 2 look like they're going to happen. So I think that will be possible soon, as well as what you've said, the qualifications being available. So this is a really important area.
But these are quite creative, approach, because number one, it enables Cambodian who cannot afford all the full college tuition, right, to start, in Cambodia, at least save some money, right? But they still have the opportunity to finish it with a UK degree. I mean, that's quite an innovative way to look at it,
Well, we have to look at the long term, to be honest. We've got the trade relationship, for example, between the UK and Cambodia is growing very quickly.
You mentioned nearly $1 billion, right?
$1 billion this year, and that's 5 times more than the trade 5 years ago. So it's growing incredibly quickly, and this is largely because of the EU's everything but arms trade preference. So a lot of, particularly garments and shoes, manufactured in Cambodia and exported to the EU, and the UK has benefited a lot from that. Cambodia has benefited a lot.
But I find, you mentioned that, right? But I find that the quality of the UK investor are not just buyers, they are investing, they're bringing technology, they bring latest sophisticated equipment that help lift at the same time while trade is doing well, but the capacity building of the local is very good.
It's extremely important. I mean, the British companies coming here do have global standards, UK standards in things like labour law, ethics, environmental standards, that kind of thing, and they bring a lot of learning and development with them. But I think for us to build our trade relationship further into the future, we need to think strategically. So what are for example, the UK commercial strengths that match Cambodia's development needs? Education is one example, but also things like construction and design, where some of the leading world architects and engineers are from the UK. They have very good building standards, they are environmentally friendly, versatile buildings, and so we've got Vatanak Tower here, has 8 British companies working on it. We've got Hong Kong Land has just broken ground on their new development. So we've got some really iconic British construction and design coming here, and there's a very good match there. Financial services is another one.